Welcome back, everybody. We're down here on the bottom piece where we first ran the buffalo cultivator, and we were having some plug up issues, so we went back and removed those disc killers and I put them back on. We're back down here again. I went around the field once already, kind of cleaning up the outer edge. But as you can see, we've got a whole bunch of weeds and just sporadic all over throughout the whole field. So we're just going to go in here a little bit and try to clean them up. I've still got the 16-inch sweeps. I never did change them. I just went ahead and ran, and it did a pretty darn good job. That window's pretty dirty. Might not be able to see out of that one much. Anyway, so we're just going to try to clean these up a little bit, and I'm going to try to show you steering, but I got to be pretty dang careful that I'm not wiping these out again with the disc killers in there. She's pretty tight to the row, so I got to really be pretty darn careful. That was one of the plugs we just went over, and this thing scatters it out good, going right through it, not bothering it. Look at how well it's throwing dirt up around the row there and cleaning everything up. Looking pretty darn good. I've still got the row shields on, and they're sitting about 2 inches off the ground. And that allows me to drive a little faster, throw the dirt up on the shield good and hard, and then as the shield goes by, it kind of falls down and in around the row, around the beans. Here we got some grass on both sides of the row a little bit. So I'm right in the middle. Up here's another one of those plugs where it was shoving dirt. We'll just walk right over that. Looking pretty good. Pretty hairy in some spots, and that's cleaning it up pretty well. I'm into the area now where I had the disc killers off, and I can see the difference from where they were on, because it definitely didn't throw the dirt out as far or clean up as much as I was before with the disc killers on, but it just wasn't working with a plug-in, so we had to take them off. So I thought we'd come out and have a look at this, because it doesn't look like it's doing much over here. But here's what we got. See, with the disc killers off, it wasn't clean and clear up to the row, and of course I drive perfectly square or straight, so anyway, it's a little bit offset to this side from that last pass. Well, now with the disc killers in there, it's cutting right down next to the row on both sides and throwing that into the shovel or the sweep, and then it's scattering it all back out. Let's go over here and have a look. This is just the same as that over there, just as hairy and weedy. So let's look right up next to the row and see what we got. And right there is where she's cutting, and on this side I was a little bit off center, but that's pretty dang close. I mean, that's only, you know, that far away. That grass out of there. We got a lot of grass in row, and that's going to be, you know, our biggest contender this year, I think. The way the weather went, there's nothing we could do about it. So anyway, you can see this stuff is all dead, which is fantastic. You know, there's what it was looking like. Now that we're able to throw those disc killers in there and get a lot closer to the row, it's getting a lot of that grass. And it's supposed to be dry for several days. So that stuff's not gonna re-sprout. It's doing a lot better job than it was the first pass. Let's go look at those disc killers. Alright, so there you can see the disc killers, and it's about 8 inches between the two of them. There's our row in the middle, and again, I'm a little bit off-centered, closer to it on this side than I am this side. So everything on this side of the disc is going to get wiped out and thrown back there into the shovel, and the shovel will take care of everything else. So that's pretty much what she's doing, and she's doing a heck of a good job of it. See, there's what she looks behind it, and there's what it looks like in front of it. There's still pretty significant rows. I mean, you can definitely see the difference. Imagine if we hadn't been in here and cultivated, it'd be one big solid green mat of grass, and that'd be a nightmare. But there it is. That's what she's doing. As far as settings on this, I'd recommend you go watch one of the videos that Buffalo or Apache puts out. I forget who the main YouTube I watched was, but you kind of need to know the whole. I mean, go read the book and go watch a couple of their videos to get a good idea what the settings should be. And once you get one and start playing with it, you got to set everything up. You know, go out and run in the field and then kind of play with it, get everything fine-tuned. So there's what we're currently running for our depth gauge. And you can adjust each row individually, and you just take and screw this big bolt right here on the top, up or down, and that runs your row unit higher or lower to the ground. So that's pretty much all there is for the depth gauge. It doesn't have gauge wheels like a lot of cultivators do. Basically, you just kind of keep your 3-point hitch carrying the whole bar. As you can see, a few of these row unit parallel links there. Some of them are parallel and some of them are not. You know, they're flat running. Some of them are not, just kind of way the field's sitting. But pretty much most of the time you want those parallel links to be slightly tipped in just a little bit, like that one is. The next, you know, this one here, right there. The next few over are a little bit flatter running, and like I said, it just kind of depends on your field conditions. If you're running in some tighter, heavier clays, you need to drop the 3-point down and let it pull a little bit deeper on those. And if you're running some sandier soils, lighter soils, you can actually have a slightly dropped, towards the back rather than down towards the front. So anyway, you don't really adjust the shanks. You kind of just leave those where they're sitting. You absolutely can adjust the shovels themselves. And there's 2 bolts down here. Clean some of this off a little bit. Now again, depending on your soil condition, you can adjust this to run a little, the shovel sitting this way. You can either tip it real severe or kind of run it flat to do a little less digging. And if you're throwing up, big streaks of dirt, you need to flatten her out and not run quite so deep with the tip. Basically, you just loosen these 2 screws, or 2 fasteners rather, these 2 bolts, and you can adjust the angle of this. They recommend setting these so this right here, the front edge of this shovel, is supposed to be a 1/4 inch back from the front edge of this shank. And that's kind of where I set it all when we first started. And they're running pretty good at that. That way they get a good throw of dirt over to the shields and so on. Almost thinking I need to raise these shields up a little bit, but I've got some short beans in areas and I really don't want to, completely cover them up. So maybe we could raise them just a skosh. And that's pretty simple. You just pull this up and pull the chain up just a little bit, pretty simple. But anyway, that's pretty much it for settings. Yeah, that's where we're running at the moment. And then again, the disc killers, they're all throwing dirt in towards the center between the rows. And you can later, when you get into taller corn up here, you can loosen this bolt here, lift the whole shank up, rotate it around to where this piece is over here, and then you'll be throwing dirt in the row, and that's pretty cool. So we're gonna do that when this corn gets a little taller. Anyway, let's get back out of here before it gets too much dark. More dark, and the windows are awful dirty. I apologize, I didn't get them washed. The tractor we were cultivating with was having some 3-point issues. I don't know what that's doing yet. It wasn't wanting to let down when I was in the field, and then it would go down, but then it's not really wanting to raise up very fast, and that's not good. So let's switch her and put her on this one. Anyway, we'll get back at it. Enjoyed that short-lived video. It's getting kind of late in the evening here, and I'm going to call it a night. We'll pick things back up tomorrow and get things cleaned up on a couple of the other farms. And hopefully we can get down and get that corn cleaned up. Imagine it's getting pretty dang hairy too. I haven't done anything to it yet, so. Alright guys, hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, and until next time, catch you later.